That's ISLAND FANTAS. I ain't even spell it. So what the fuck I'm trying
You
to
just
say?
embarrassing yourself.
Hey, this is gonna be a hard out day. Welcome, guys. It's Island Fantasy Views, being powered by the Black Swan Podcast. That's THABLACKSWAAN. It's another NFL season. We're back with you. Island Fantasy Views, like I said, Black Swan Podcast. We're gonna jump right in. It's NFL Week 3 coming up. A lot of things have been happening. Last week it was a bloody Sunday. It's a bloody week. A lot of big name injuries. A lot of movement on the waiver wires. I'm sure you guys out there in fantasy land have a lot of questions, have a lot of comments, concerns about what's going to happen with Saquon. What's going on with Tyrod Taylor getting stabbed accidentally by the team doctor so the white backup could come in and be the savior. We ain't going there. That's a little too Omar Johnson for everybody. Two phones on the tripod. Listen out for the hashtag. We back at it. We ain't letting nothing stop us. We going at it. We out here bringing the content that the fans want. Aaron Jones is a monster. That's the only answer. This dude scored like 50 something points alone. And I saw that and I was like, there's no way possible. But you know what hurt me more? Snuff, I want to acknowledge your win. Shout out, you beat me this week, you get me. I'm 0-2, you 2-0, you're doing big things in the league. You look like you were named to look out for. But what really hurt me is I lost in another one of my leagues, 170 something .71 to 170 something .51. And I thought, I had so much points on my bench. I thought, damn, Aaron Jones, he just destroyed me on Fantasy Sunday. Guess who came back and balled the hell out? Darren Waller. I've been telling you about him, that Las Vegas tight end. He has an awesome story too. Shout him out. I gotta stop talking shit about John Gruden. That man knows football. I'm pretty sure he knows it better than the rest of us who just started, fooling around with this thing when he was winning championships. But yeah, Aaron Jones, man, monster game last week. Monster game. He was just tearing up the field. He was by far and large the best fantasy player last week. So if you played against him like I did in 2 different leagues, you probably lost. I think the Buccaneers had a great team win. I think they kind of switched up their strategies a little bit from the running back perspective. We all know at this day and age, Tom Brady isn't going to carry the team. You need a strong running game behind him, and I think that's why they brought in Leonard Fournette. That's why he got 2 touchdowns last week. They relied a little less on Ronald Jones, which I personally wasn't a fan, and I have some investments in him this year. I know a lot of people was really looking forward to the running back doing some good things, but it looks like it's going to be more of a committee. And Tom did what he had to do, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. It's good to see Mike Evans get involved. Week 1 was a little scary. Mike Evans is a big fantasy receiver. I know a lot of people invested probably first, high second round picks in them, so it's good to see he was out there having a good day. Tom Brady still get it. But like I say, that running back committee in Tampa Bay looks like it's going to be a little bit more than just Ronald Jones, as a lot of people were suspecting. No, I feel like I said it from the beginning of the season. The Eagles just aren't going to be a good football team this year. We have way too many injuries. We're still lost at the safety position. We thought we had the answer in Malcolm Jenkins. We let him go back to the Saints. Now it's another mystery there. Our defensive line has a lot of injuries, and that's the biggest strength of our team. Our offense, we still got wide receivers coming in from the practice squad. We still trying to find good replacements for Alshon Jeffrey. The rookie, he got a nice little thing going on, but I ain't really Jalen Rager, I think is his name, but it's really nothing to really be excited about for the Eagles. We just got Miles Sanders back. He got a hamstring injury. I don't think he's 100% all the way, but we're trying to push him through. A little low-key information, I think is about out there now. Devonta Freeman, he actually came into the Eagles for a workout, but I heard he signed with the Giants because they promised him more opportunity. So it's not that the Eagles don't realize that we got a lot of injuries and a lot of positions to try and make up for and fill in the gaps, but it's just not going to be a good year. I'm not really looking to have any success with that team. I'm not trying to see a playoff Super Bowl run, none of that. I just want maybe to see some Carson Wentz development. That would be something to be excited for. Maybe you get on a good rapport with your running backs. I'd like to see a nice Miles Sanders here, but it's already starting off rough, and honestly, there isn't really a lot to be excited for. I feel like the biggest story is why the Falcons keep losing big games like this. Where it looks like they have it sure handed in the first half, and then the next thing you know, some magical quarterback run happens, and then they lose the game. That defense has been crazy. But I'm not trying to take anything away from the Cowboys. Not going to talk no shit. Dak put the team on his back this week. Last week did what he had to do. The man had 3 rushing touchdowns, 450 passing yards, and the win at the end of the day when the last second field goal from the kicker. Shout out that Cowboys kicker.
From 46 to win it for Dallas.
Nice in his hands. But the Cowboys balled out. The Falcons didn't. I really don't know what to say. I'm happy that Matt Ryan is getting the yards and putting up the points that he needs to, but the Falcons need to put it together. They had a really great offensive day, but it wasn't enough. I think the defense needs to put up or shut up, or else this team can't be serious about the Super Bowl. One of the most surprising things for me last week was Cam throwing the ball 44 times. I did not think the Patriots organization was going to ever see Cam Newton throw that many times a game, but he did what he had to do, and I think that's why they brought him in. You got to have a little bit of dog in you to get the win at the end of the day, and he did what he had to do. The man had 2 rushing touchdowns. The man had almost 400 yards passing. Like I said, he threw 44 times, completed 30 of the passes, and it's real. I guess it's true to form for Belichick and the Patriots to switch up what they're going to do every week for you. Because last week we saw a hell of a lot of rushing. He barely threw the ball last week, and now this week he comes out and he's throwing the ball all over the place like he's Matt Stafford from 3 years ago. So, I'm excited to see Cam Newton doing good things for the Patriots. I ain't too sure where I feel about the Patriots winning again. It's still a little too Belichick and evil empire for me, but shout out to Cam, he doing what he has to do. And shout out Russell Wilson. Like I said, I'm not gonna put no spark on that man's name this year. He did what he had to do, didn't come up with the win, but the man threw 5 touchdowns. I mean, honestly, if your quarterback is throwing 5 touchdowns and your team ain't winning, you gotta check the defense, because it sure ain't his fault. You want to get Umar Johnson on the people, bro. Tyrod Taylor is the quarterback for the Chargers. The LA Chargers, not Phillip Rivers is in there anymore. Lo and behold, on Sunday, the team doctor before the game accidentally punches his lungs or something because he's trying to give him an injection for the pain because of the rib injury he suffered. Now, I want to know how all of a sudden the team doctor can accidentally puncture a lung. And then all of a sudden, waiting in the wings is the white savior. Tyrod Taylor has lung puncture in freak accident involving Chargers team doctor. How it sound, y'all? ESPN's Adam Schefter reported Wednesday that Tyrod Taylor had his lung punctured before Sunday's Chargers-Chiefs matchup, which is a doozy of a game, guys. Went into overtime, the Chiefs won by 3, but I was really shocked at that Chargers defense holding that Chiefs offense. It was a good game. When a team doctor administered a pain-killing injection that went horribly wrong, Chargers rookie and first-round pick Justin Herbert surprised in his debut, tossing 300 yards and a touchdown in the overtime loss to Kansas City. Like I said, I just think it's a little coincidental that there's this freak accident that never really happens to the team that brought in a black quarterback to lead them for 16 games, but also invested a first-round pick into the quarterback of the future. And he came out, Justin Herbert, shout out to you, no disrespect to you. You had a great game, you almost won it for the Chargers. Would have been a hell of a story. I just think it's a little too incidental. Speaking of the Chargers, they come up against the Panthers this week, and that should be a real interesting game. I don't think Tyrod Taylor is going to make it, so we're going to see the rookie quarterback again, and he's coming up against a Panthers team without Run CMC. Christian McCaffrey is out 4 to 6 weeks allegedly with a high ankle sprain. It may be more, but like my good sports medicine doctor over here told me that the new technology these days, he's young, science has evolved. It might be starting to see progress after 3 weeks. So who knows what's going to happen. I hope you guys picked up Mike Davis on your waiver wires this week. He's supposed to fill in for the Panthers. we're going to see. I'm suspecting a lot more of a committee. They got some good running backs there, so Mike Davis should be the guy, but we're going to see. Another game that we're going to have to talk about this week, Patriots versus the Las Vegas Raiders. 1 o'clock, I think that's the game we're going to want to focus on at 1 o'clock on Sunday. Big Cam Newton win last week. Big Derek Carr win last week. I think he's looking for the respect he deserves, and I think honestly, Patriots should be a little afraid. That man is a bad man. Like I said, Darren Waller, tight end. Josh Jacobs is a bad man. I think the Raiders got a real shot to do some things this year. John Gruden, he's really making me a believer. But like I said, Patriots, who knows what they're going to do this week. All of the 4 o'clock games this week are something you're going to want to pay attention to. There's a lot of nice. Like I said, you got the Chargers and the Panthers. You got the Seahawks and the Cowboys. Russell Wilson, Dak Prescott. It's going to be a doozy. I'm interested to see DK Metcalf go there and do his thing. That man looks like an absolute beast on the field playing amongst bunny rabbits. Colts playing the Jets. I think that's going to be a nice little one to look out for. The Colts got an interesting situation with their running backfield. You don't know if it's going to be Nyheim Hines. You don't know if it's going to be Jonathan Taylor. Like I say, as a committee, Cardinals and Lions. I think that's going to be a nice good game to watch out for. Kyler Murray, Tiny Tim, keep your eye on him. He's doing some things. Cardinals are 2-0. I'm not a believer yet, but it's going to be interesting to see him do his thing. All of the primetime games are going to be good. Sunday, 8 o'clock, we got the Saints and the Packers. Drew Brees' arms look like it's about to fall off the bone, and the Packers look like they're rolling. So, definitely a nice little matchup. Then Monday night, you got the Ravens and the Chiefs, the 2 hardest teams in the AFC. Might be a potential AFC showdown for the Super Bowl. So we're going to see. I'm really interested to see how the Chiefs bounce back after that low scoring scale last week with the Chargers. And the Ravens, they're doing what they got to do, so it's always going to be good. That's it, folks. Thanks for hanging out with us. Silent Fantasy Viewers, powered by the Black Swan Podcast. That's THABLACKSWAAN. Find all the links in the description below. Be sure to check us out on IG every Thursday. 2 phones and a tripod. Hashtag it. Every Thursday, the Black Swan Podcast. Warlord 1914. We live talking about fantasy football. We're going to be giving some outtakes from the game. Make sure to check us out. That's on Instagram every Thursday, 8:30. I'm rusty.
You go to Rico and say to figure that out.
That's it. What the fuck? That's it, folks. Thanks for hanging us.
This when you know you gotta stop. Like it's when you get to this point, it's like, yeah, ain't no more positive coming from this.